Check, check. Welcome, everybody, to Cousins Gymnasium on the last day of January. We have for you the fifth NESCAC game that the Jumbos will be playing. I'm Trevor Russo on play-by-play, joined by my partner Owen Finnegan back on the mic in his senior season. Owen, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I think it's going to be a great matchup. Two very interesting seasons for both of these squads, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out tonight at Cousins.
Yeah, so since this is a NESCAC game, we'll go over the standings. In first place is Tufts, and we will pause for the national anthem. As always, a beautiful rendition in that recording of the national anthem. We apologize for the delay. We overestimated the amount of time we had, but what Tufts shouldn't overestimate is this Bowdoin squad. As we see standings here, Tufts in first place, 4-0 record in the NESCAC, only paced by 5-0 Colby. Actually, Tufts is the 22nd ranked team in D3 as of D3 Hoops' latest ranking. And all the way down at the bottom, you'll see Bowdoin, 1-4 conference, 6-11 ranking. But Tufts looking a little vulnerable as of late.
Yeah, absolutely. This Tufts squad is a very volatile one. Some strange out-of-conference losses that is very uncharacteristic of what otherwise is a pretty strong Tufts team. Of course, 4-0 in the NESCAC, but some losses to Suffolk and very recently to New England College. Has this squad maybe questioning the result against Bowdoin?
Yeah, no, that
Absolutely. You'll see on the screen Sam's storyline. Sam Brill, of course, being our basketball expert here at JumboCast. Tough loss to New England College for the Jumbos that we were just talking about. And worth noting, too, their win against Bates was a very narrow one, with Tyler Aronson hitting what ended up being effectively a buzzer beater 3 to win the game. Also, too many turnovers for this Tufts squad. Again, in the past, has been a very back the scoring touch. Points per game has taken a dip for the Jumbos in the past couple of games. For Bowdoin, we have a very gritty squad, strong at the 1 and 2, particularly with senior David Reynolds and junior Sam Grad. Grad, listed as a guard, but is leading the team with 6.8 rebounds per game. And the key for Bowdoin will be forcing big mistakes. Yeah, it'll be interesting. We saw it against Bates. The Jumbos have had a hard time controlling scoring guards. So against a guard who is as prolific a scorer as David Reynolds, could prove to be a thorn in the Jumbo side as this game gets ready to begin.
Number 11. Sorry, their uniforms are a little weird. Back down. Brendan Moore. his way into the post. After Tyler Hansen. Now back to Eric Savage, and the Jumbos will reset with 15 on the shot clock. Savage driving, tries to pass out, gets it to Rogers, and maybe
you can see Rogers with an emotional reaction there. He thought it should have been a foul, and I, from what I saw, tend to agree with him. Yeah, that was Sam. Yeah, that was Sam Grad, one of the tallest players on the team, 6'7", with the. It was a mistake by Savage, just letting him get right by him.
David Reynolds will check that in for you. Ball is to Luke Rogers in the post. Almost nifty move. Yeah, that is going to be Sam Grad. We apologize for the error on our graphic. Now driving down is Stephen Ferraro. Almost takes the three. That is David Reynolds for three, and that's off the mark. But rebound there for Xander Workman. Rolls around, and luck does not find him there.
Yeah, they're going to let Reynolds take as many of those shots as he wants. 46% on the year from three.
Rogers, good pass out to Morris. Savage being patient, waits for the screen. Good ball movement here, and the medium two is good from Tyler Aronson.
I really think that's the pattern that the Jumbos should be looking for, is getting those mid-range jumpers in the paint. It may sound counterintuitive, but when the Jumbos three does not fall, they tend to lose games. So look for them to attack the paint early in this game.
Yeah, we're about to see Max Oppenheim sub in as a foul is going to be called on number 12, Taiga Kagatomi from Tokyo, Japan. He's 6'4". It doesn't appear to be, but
yeah, one of many international representatives on this Bowdoin spot.
Everyone looks tall when they're on the basketball court. Kagatomi out to Workman. Freshman getting a lot of work, and he's going to work in the low post and scores off of Brendan Morris. All tied up at 4.
And I'll tell you, that was a good slide by Morris to get to Workman, but Workman just went right over him, using that 6'7" frame.
Aronson out to Cohen. Almost misses the handle there. Savage trying to see the lane, but filled well by Grad. And that's going to be off the mark. Rebound, tough contested rebound there for Brendan Morris, but he gets it back. Oppenheim with the screen. Out to Savage, wide open corner. Three is good from Eric Savage. He doesn't miss those often.
Yeah, you can see after the rebound by Oppenheim, the Bowdoin defenders shifting in towards the paint, leaving Savage wide open from the perimeter. You do not want to do that.
Tough defense there from Cohen. Close out by Oppenheim on the shot from Workman is no good. Rebound. And now Grad into the low post. He's got a mismatch there, does Workman, but good defense there by the Jumbos on the recovery. Three from Morris is rimming out, and that's going to be Polar Bear ball.
I'll tell you, that fast break three to Brennan Morris has been working all season for them. Morris shooting a career-high 44% from three this season.
Polar Bears have not made a substitution yet. Seem to like this lineup a lot. Jumbo's going for some size with Oppenheim. Double team there on Ferraro, and three-pointer is good from Sam Grad, the junior from Boulder, Colorado.
Yeah, Savage drifted in to cover Workman, cutting to the basket, leaving Grad wide open. Smart offensive playbook for the Polar Bears so far.
Looks like Tufts and the Polar Bears going back and forth, and back go the Jumbos as Tyler Aronson with another jumper.
Yeah, another mid-range for Aronson. Like I said earlier, they're going to want to hit a lot of those to beat the Polar Bears in the first half.
He gets at least 3 feet off the ground with that jump shot, too. It's crazy. You think he's levitating.
He's got some lift.
Oppenheim guarding on the perimeter. They seem to like him there. Brendan Morris in the post, helped out by Oppenheim, and that's going to be a foul. A little too pushy was Max, and probably going to let him shoot 2 there at the line.
Yeah, that Workman, really smart basketball early in this game. His cuts to the basket has caused some defensive mismatches, and as we just saw, a foul for the Jumbo's defenders.
First shot by Workman, the freshman in the starting lineup from Spokane, Washington. Hits his first on the season. He is a 67% free throw shooter, so not amazing percentages, but we'll see if he can convert here. Good form from Workman, and it's all tied up again. Back and forth, the Jumbos are equaling. Not the hot start they've been looking for. Now Dylan Turner subs into the game, and rebound by Grad. Knocked away, but eventually the Polar Bears corral it. Ferraro is going to be fouled on the drive by Justin Kuyumjin. That name has taken me 2 years to say correctly. It's a long one, but he's going to get his first. Still no substitutions for the Bowdoin Polar Bears. Grad guarded by Savage. Now block. Good stuff there from Rogers, and now the Jumbos are going up tempo. That's going to be Turner with the up and around.
Yeah, beautiful up and under, but not to be forgotten was Rogers' block there. He had 2 blocks against Bates, and he has 2 blocks early against Bowdoin so far today.
Yeah, Luke Rogers, of course, him and Eric Savage making that duo for a while. 6'8" he stands, and right now he is standing tall. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Ferraro, wild shot, and he makes it.
Wow, and there's an argument to be made that Ferraro might have been fouled on that shot as well. He certainly thinks so.
Yeah, his hands were up and raised. Referee's not going to call that. Fake from Savage. Now Aronson, Savage is going to drive, jumps around, and nice layup.
Yeah,
Hop and a skip and a score.
Savage got exactly what he wanted there, getting Grad to chase him to the perimeter. He just cuts right in and scores easy.
Now we've been talking about the lack of subs. 2 are sitting by the scorer's table for the Polar Bears. Almost intercepted there by Kuyumjin, and that is going to be 2 points for David Reynolds.
Yeah, you have
first of the game.
Have to respect the 3 for Reynolds, but you're going to give up that easy mid-range.
And 3 is off the mark for Aronson, but rebounded by Kuyumjin. Long 2, barely tickles the net there from Tyler Aronson. That's his 3rd jump shot of the day in that form. Like we said, he gets up. 12:54 here to play. Nice pass, and for the score is David Reynolds with back-to-back buckets. Nice assist from Ferraro. Jumbo's trying to reset, faking the shot. 2 in the post, going to be difficult for Rogers, and he is fouled. No, that's a travel.
Subs come in here, and I'll tell you the Jumbos have looked a little flat-footed on defense so far. Besides the pretty incredible shot by Ferraro from the mid-range, I think every single play has been one of the Polar Bears cutting to the basket. They just haven't seemed to be able to cover these cutting Polar Bears.
Image of a cutting polar bear is kind of funny. But right now the Jumbos aren't laughing. Tied at 15 to a 6-11 opponent. Subs in are Will Brady, and I believe Dylan Turner has also subbed in. Luke Savage is off now. Actually, no, the sub was Brendan Morris. He's back on. Contested shot is no good, and stepped out of bounds did the Jumbos. I believe that was Kuyumjin. They're actually going to call, I think that's a 3, is that a 3-second call on the defense?
I missed the gesture from the referee. But
or on the offense. 5-second call on the defense?
Whatever it is Bowdoin's ball.
Good defense there on the inbound. Shot is good. Couldn't see. We're a little blocked by a post here.
Yeah,
that was a 3-pointer.
That was Reynolds, and I'll tell you, he could not have been guarded better by Will Brady, but he just takes the contested through.
That was a foul long after the whistle blew did Luke Rogers try to score that, but that's going to be a foul on number 22, Jack Shea, the freshman. Looks like a pretty young rotation here for the Polar Bears.
Yeah, and back to that Reynolds shot, you can see how much Bowdoin relies on him to score points, letting him take shots like that.
Yeah, he's up to 5 on the day. Drive by Thurner, and that's going to be a foul on the floor. They're going to wave off anything, and the new sub, Jack Shea, is going to commit the foul. They're going to wave off a shooting foul, so no shots for Thurner. Jack Shea is actually going to sub out as soon as he committed that foul. Looks like Coach Tim Gilbride did not like that from his young player. Dribble and shoot is off the mark, but Kayumjin almost, and that's going to be rebounded by Reynolds. The three from Brendan Morris was off. I don't think he's hit one yet. He's tried a couple. And that's going to be a moving screen called on number 20, Manav Randawa.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of an acting job by Kayumjin there, but whatever gets the foul, it was an illegal screen.
Brady's going to inbound to Turner. Now Morris. Jumbo's trying to swirl around the arc here, and nice corral there by Luke Rogers, and almost gets the points and more, but he's going to be sent to the line. Pass was a little off, but Luke Rogers making a one-handed grab there and saving it and converting. Well, yet to be converted are the points, but he's at the foul line to shoot two.
Worth noting the short rotation the Jumbos have had so far today.
Yeah, not giving their stars a lot of range. And an air ball on a free throw. That is, you don't see that often. I don't think I've seen that ever, but Luke Rogers did it. Doesn't face him. He made one of two.
Yeah, statistically accurate Rogers getting to the line 6 times a game and shooting 50%.
He's probably going to want that one back, not going on the personal mixtape for Rogers.
That one won't make the highlights.
Maybe a low light. Hopefully not. Jumbo's down 2 right now, 10:57 to play. Good defense from Morris. Nice little inbound pass and wild passing here, but that's going to be saved and not saved for the Polar Bears. Three's going to be tried from Brady, and it is good! A quick score off the mistake from the Polar Bears. They almost kept possession, but it led to a fast break for the Jumbos. And we're going to see a timeout from Coach Bob Sheldon here.
And I'll tell you, that is beautiful adaptability by the Jumbos on that defensive possession. We saw Reynolds cutting in, looking for the fancy pass. The defense keeping their feet shuffling, not allowing the Polar Bears to cut in towards the basket like they have all day. And then, of course, on the offensive end, another transition three. That's the second one the Jumbos have hit today. This one giving them the lead, 19-18.
Yeah, it's been a back-and-forth day for Tufts and Bowdoin. Like we said, one of our keys was that the Jumbos have to get back their scoring touch. It's a 96-point output a while ago against Amherst, almost 2 weeks ago. They have not scored really in their past 2 games. They had 76 against Bates in a win. That was a lot closer than it should have been, and they lost to New England College, only scoring 56 there.
Right, and, you know, number 22 in the nation, tied for first in the NESCAC alongside Colby. Not a whole lot of complaints you can have about this team, but one of the complaints is consistency. You said it best, Trevor. It's the scoring consistency. It's even the defensive consistency you see within games, within halves. And it's led to some strange results this season. This will be a close game.
However, one of the better seasons that Jumbo's men's basketball has had in recent years. Of course, last year they upset number 1 seeded Middlebury in the NESCAC playoffs, a surprise for some, and that is going to be
Workman.
A foul on Will Brady as he rides the back of Workman.
Yeah, again, it's Workman. He has really impressed me so far today. He doesn't jump off the score sheet, and he's a first-year student, so you don't expect a lot, but his footwork down below the basket has been impeccable so far today.
Workman going to miss that one, rebound by Oppenheim. I think they're actually going to give the basket to Bowdoin. I think they called goaltending on that. Or did he convert the basket?
He converted the basket. It was an and one attempt.
Oh. This poll is really bugging me, man. Almost as. Oh, a nice little spin move there from Cohen, and he's going to get it to Luke Savage. Excuse me, Eric Savage in the post. God. Well, you can combine those two names a lot because that is the 1-2 punch for the Jumbos, and they're back on top, 21-20. Nice contest there from Brady off the mark and rebound by Eric Savage. He's going to try to push it and go to the basket with the Euro step and up and in. He converts, and the Jumbos go up by 3, I believe, their largest lead of the day.
Savage, you said it with the fancy footwork, the Euro step. He hit a 3 earlier this half. He can score any way you want him to. Impressive transition buckets from the Jumbos so far today.
I don't know who's teaching these Jumbos Euro steps. I've seen them from DeCandido, seen it from Savage, and that 3 by Rondawa, that 2, excuse me, is good. 3 for Brendan Morris is good. Quick score there, and he gets his first points of the game. Rondawa now bringing it up the court into Reynolds. Waiting with the ball. Patient are these Polar Bears. They're going to fire is Workman off the mark. Not trying to take the paint as much as they were originally. Savage driving in. Jump shot off the mark. Pushed out to Reynolds.
Good contest by Workman there. That was an uncomfortable shot for Savage to get it over the tall frame of Workman.
And we're going to see a 30-second timeout for the Bowdoin Polar Bears and Tim Gilbride. Seems like they're going away from that post play. The Jumbos have adjusted, but a lot of contested shots around the three-point line for the Bowdoin Polar Bears. We've seen Will Brady really do a great job on closeouts so far.
Right, it's been a strange mix for Bowdoin offensively. I mean, only down 3, they haven't been bad by any stretch of the imagination. But where they're beating the Jumbos is cutting to the basket and getting points in the paint. There's been some strange contested 3s by Reynolds. There was that 3 attempt by Workman, who's only shooting 25% the year on less than 1 attempt a game. I don't know, some strange fluctuation between looking great on offense and just looking a little bit lost out there for Bowdoin.
So Oppenheim is now in for the Jumbos. And they're going to inbound to Kagatomi. Now to Rondawa. Playing far away from the basket are the Polar Bears. Trying to set a screen and drive is Ferraro. And now 3-point attempt by Grad is out and into the arms of Aronson. Cohen, a quick 3. And not close. Rebounded by Grad. Don't think I like that shot.
No, I don't think so either. There have been a few transition 3s, but that one felt forced.
7:50 here to go in the first half. A close one here, 26-23. Bowdoin looking for an upset and not going to find that 3, but looks like we're going to see an offensive foul on number 2, Stephen Ferraro. He is hanging his head. He's confused about that one. Sam Grad's going to the bench, too.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused by that call, too, but whatever it is, Rogers getting ready for the inbound.
Cohen picks it up. Assistant coach Matt Malone telling his players where to go. Of course, we at JumboCast love our boy Matt. Into the post is Rogers. Second off the mark. Can he make it 3? And 3 is the magic number for Luke Rogers. He's up to 5. Now into the game, number 21, Drew Gagnon. 6'5", 178 from Baskin Ridge. And now into the post was Xander Workman fouled.
Yeah,
he's going to go to the line.
Workman going to the line for the second time this game, and that was a beautiful play by Ferraro. Ferraro leading this Bowdoin squad in assists per game, and he has been crafty so far. But a couple, hasn't converted a lot of assists, but you can see getting his man to the line there and working.
Workman hits that free throw. Going to see Rundhawa check out and the star David Reynolds check in. And Workman up to 10 points in the first half. Great output from him. Don't see freshmen producing at a rate like he is, but this could be his star game if the Jumbos aren't careful. They're only up by 3.
Yeah, he only averages 6 points a game, Workman does.
Savage, quick, and that's going to be foul by Workman. That's his second of the day. Savage was like a lightning bolt there. All he could do was foul.
Yeah, Savage a senior, myself a senior as well. It's been great watching his offensive game develop as he's gotten older. He's been much better at those drives than he was, say, 2 years ago.
And now Savage is up to 10 points on the day. One more free throw, and he will lead all scorers.
Worth noting, Savage, a 67% free throw shooter.
Thank you for that, Owen, and he will. Savage has 11 in the first half. We've got just under 7 minutes to play here. Drive by Kagatomi. Now to Reynolds. Spinning around is Ferraro. He's looking for something, and he is not going to get it there. And almost rebounded by Carson Cohen was the ball. But he was actually pushed out, not a foul. Good call there by the refs. And the Polar Bears will retain possession as Workman, the Bowdoin Polar Bears' leading scorer on the day, heads to the bench. Contested shot there for Reynolds. No good. Savage to Aronson for the three, and a low line drive there. Didn't think that was going to even clear the rim, and it clears right into the basket. And now suddenly this lead is up to 8. When did that happen? Nice block there, or contest by Luke Rogers. Jumbo's pushing the pace, and almost hard fall there for Dylan Thurner. And now the Jumbos will reset now that they have control of this game, and that's going to be a foul, almost a steal. Ferraro is not happy.
Yeah, frustrating sequence for Ferraro. He got juked out of his shoes by Aronson there and then missed the convert by the Luke Rogers contest on the other end. Ferraro, great player, but has been having a frustrating day. A lot of his assists aren't going in. A lot of his shots aren't going in. He's got a few fouls. Time for Ferraro to take a deep breath and reset.
Yeah, Ferraro at 2 points and 2 fouls on the day. Had some nice assists. Almost intercepted was that inbound. Now Rogers in trouble. And they're going to call a travel on Carson Cohen. Led with the foot before he dribbled.
I'll tell you, the identity of this Jumbos team offensively, when Luke Rogers is on the court, it's a completely different team.
Yeah, they just love getting it to him in the post. He can take on 1, 2, probably not 3, but when you have a big man who can take on double teams in the post, it opens up so much for you.
It really is remarkable. 25 minutes a game and 16 points per game. Pretty close to a point per minute while Luke Rogers is on the court.
That is going to be Reynolds off the mark with another 3. And a nifty little spin move there. Actually, a little too nifty for the rule book's liking.
I've watched a lot of NESCAC basketball in my day. I have to say, Reynolds has one of the greenest green lights I've ever seen on any squad. He is allowed to take any shot that he wants.
Yeah, Reynolds 1 for 3 from deep on the day. Now he has the ball, guarded by Aronson. Ferraro almost losing the handle, and that's going to be out of bounds, but I believe off Luke Rogers, so stays Bowdoin Polar Bear ball.
Yeah, Bowdoin looking for a simple pick and pop right there, but good hands by the Jumbos knocked that one out of bounds.
Out and around. And that's going to be a charge on Reynolds. He is not having the offensive impact we thought he would early in this game. Taking a lot of deep shots, and when he tries to drive, gets a charge.
Aronson a Raleigh, North Carolina native, but a graduate of Northfield Mount Herman School. One of the most beautiful schools I've ever seen in my life.
I'm not familiar with it. I'm sorry, I didn't have anything to follow up with there.
Just an esoteric high school.
You know, I'll look it up after this game, maybe at halftime. Into the game is Casey McLaren, and that's going to be missed and rebounded by the Polar Bears. Almost fixed the shot, and deep three from Morgan Edwards is off the mark. Quick play here from both teams. Casey McLaren almost takes the three. Now he's shot and a block there, and corralled by Jack Shea. That block was from Sam Grad, who's now back into the game. And what initially was wide open was contested there by Thurner, but yeah, we can see why he has the green light. 3 for Reynolds. 3 men in the post now on Rogers. Spin move off the mark and rebounded by Reynolds. Shot was from Thurner. And wide open 3 for Sam Grad is good, and all of a sudden it is now a 2-point lead for the Jumbos. Back-to-back threes have cut it. Getting a little lazy in transition are the Jumbos. Deep pass out to McLaren, covered quickly. A lot of resistance. Deep three by Kuyumjin, and rebound again by David Reynolds. Ball movement has slowed to a crawl. And we're going to see, not sure what we're seeing right now, but Eric Savage, we're going to see him come onto the court in favor of Casey McLaren. Short leash from Bob Sheldon.
Yeah, we said it pregame, but that combination of Sam Grad and Reynolds offensively and defensively has been a force these last 2 minutes, cutting the lead, like you said, Trevor, to 2. Let's see what they can do here in this offensive possession.
Yeah, they're tall and they can shoot, especially Grad at 6'7", listed as a guard. Losing the ball there is Grad, but recollecting it. 4 seconds left on the shot clock, and a difficult attempt here off the mark from Morgan Edwards. Rebounded by Kuyumjin. Sorry, I'll get that name right eventually. And he is met at the rim. Block there from Grad. And now Bowdoin taking their time, giving space to their offense. Grad by the three-point line, guarded by Savage. He's going to try to go for the up and under, and off the backboard into the square and down through the hoop was that attempt from Sam Grad, and all of a sudden that 8-point lead is now nothing.
Sam Grad has been absolutely unstoppable these last 3 minutes.
And unstoppable. Luke Rogers tries to counter your argument there.
I know, right as I open my mouth, but Grad, from my count, has had 2 blocks, a rebound, a 3, and that nice 2 to tie the game. Just in the last 3 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, they're really having a hard time, I think, when they go to size lineup for Bowdoin. And now Grad's going to try a 3, and that is good. What can he do?
Simple as can be, just a little stop, pop, open up shot for Sam Grad, and he pounds his chest because the Polar Bears just took the lead.
And that was deep, too, and losing the ball. No foul called for Dylan Thurner. He was not happy. Looked like he had the ball stripped clean from him, though, and he and Luke Rogers are going to go to the bench. Seemed like a pretty quick stint here for Luke Rogers. Max Oppenheim now in the game. Kuyumidjian now into Savage. Oppenheim setting a very deep screen. And that's going to be a foul on Stephen Ferraro. He was a little surprised. He's now up to 3 fouls on the day.
I'll go back to what I said earlier. It's a frustrating game for Ferraro, who typically is one of the better players on this team.
Yeah, and they're going to call that a shooting foul. Actually, no, that's going to put Tufts into the bonus. So everything's a shooting foul now. And that's off the mark, so no points there from the Jumbos. 35-36. The Bowdoin Polar Bears, 6-11, ninth in the NESCAC, leading the number 1 seed technically by 1 point. Deep three there from Ferraro. Not going to get it. Jumbos almost pushed that ball out of bounds, but now they're going to push it up the court. Savage drives, and he's got the easiest layup of his life. Just destroying Taiga Kagetomi off the dribble.
13th point for Savage in this game to lead the team and lead all scorers.
51 seconds on the clock.
This will be an interesting call here.
They're going to say a kicked ball, but it stays Bowdoin possession.
And I think that's the right call. It looked like Kyumjin was calling for it to be off of Ferraro, but I think it was a kicked ball.
Something going Ferraro's way for once. How about that?
See him trotting to the bench here.
Manav Randhawa now in the game for Ferraro. 14 seconds left on the shot clock. Guarded tightly is Reynolds. And going low to the floor there is Kagetomi. Almost looked like a full squat there from him. And they're going to call that a travel. Luke Rogers checking into the game for Oppenheim.
I think the Jumbo should try to get the ball at the floor as quickly as possible here to try to get the potential 2-for-1 if I'm doing my math right. Although I am an English major, so it's very probable that I'm not.
Hey, you know, English majors can do math. I don't know. I don't know what you do. Looks like they're going to take this one down as low as they can are the Jumbos. Carson Cohen. He passes to Luke Rogers, almost losing it, and he does. But they're going to say that's off of Jack Shea. Looks like he hit it out of bounds himself. So 3 seconds left for the Jumbos to play with. They're going to signal to all the teammates on the floor, let them know about the situation. Quick inbound, tough three there from Aronson. Actually, from Morris, excuse me. Three from Kuyumichin is off the mark, and that is going to end the first half. The Jumbos, again, with some of these scoring woes, not hitting the heights they hit at the earlier parts of the season. And, of course, in a race with Colby for that number 1 seed. They find themselves up by 1 against the 6-11 Polar Bears. We will see you at the end of halftime.
Right now, it's Tufts 37, Bowdoin 36 in this NESCAC class. Daniel, what'd you see in that first half? What sort of caught your eye?
Yes. So we're here for the halftime show, and yeah. So in the first half for Bowdoin, there were 2 points at the beginning of the game, and towards the end, they both had really good runs from shooting. In particular, Sam Grad is 5 for 7 from the field, and as a team, they're shooting 6 for 14, 42% from three, which is very good and has kept this game a 1-point game. On the Tufts side, as they've done all season, the offense is running through Eric Savage. He's the leader in points, and he's shooting 48% from the field from the year, and also is leading the team with 13 points here tonight.
Yeah, it's certainly been a very interesting first half, very tight game. Coming into this game, Tufts with the better record, ranked number 22 in the nation.
Right.
And you're thinking, being the home team, they've had a good home record as well, that it'd be a bit more of a comfortable game. But so far at the moment, Bowdoin has given them a lot of trouble, 37-36. What are you expecting in the second half?
Yeah, well, every NESCAC game, even though Bowdoin hasn't had their best year, every NESCAC team has the ability to compete with any other one. And so if I'm Tufts, I'm looking for, we've shot 4 from 12 so far from 3, and I'm looking to give more opportunities for, around the perimeter with Morris and with Brady and with Aronson. They all have the ability to shoot very well, and, giving them more opportunities, I think it'll be great for them.
Yeah, of course. And Tufts, of course, are normally very good in the paint. They've had out-rebounded Bowdoin. Luke Rogers as well has had another solid performance down low.
Right.
And in terms of, NESCAC scores around what's happening around town, maybe not here, Tufts women's playing against Bowdoin as well. What's happening there?
Yeah, so around the NESCAC, a lot of close games. The big one, though, is Colby, who's undefeated in the NESCAC so far, and who will be coming here tomorrow at 3. They're leading Bates by just 1 point, 44-43 at halftime. So Bates, who gave Tufts a tough game last week, is giving Colby a run for their money. Around the NESCAC, Amherst is leading Wesleyan 41-33. Williams leading Conn College 37-25, and currently tied Middlebury at Trinity at 37. But importantly, the other big game between Tufts and Bowdoin is the women's basketball game. They are both undefeated, 2 of the top teams in the nation. They met in the finals of NESCAC last year, and at halftime, Tufts is leading 51-47. Both teams are shooting incredibly well, over 70% from the field from both teams so far. On pace for 100. I don't know, it could happen.
That's incredible.
But yeah, so stay tuned. We'll be back with the second half coverage in just a sec. And yeah, that's all we got.
Sounds good. We'll see you then.
Welcome back, everybody, to the second half of this NESCAC contest. I'm Trevor Russo on play-by-play, joined by my color guy and great mentor, Owen Finnegan. Owen, how you doing?
Trevor, I'm great. We got a good game going, and I was talking to some of our crew members at halftime, and I was saying this feels a lot like the Bates game not too long ago, last weekend. Close at halftime, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it stays this close all the way up until the end.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things we talked about during the break was the real emergence of a weapon of the three ball for the Bowdoin Polar Bears. They've been really good at hitting their shots.
Right.
And Reynolds started off cold early, but he has come back to bite the Jumbos.
Right, well, Bowdoin really is playing like, we joke about the modern NBA, but that's really what they're doing is they're killing the Jumbos with deep threes and then leading to open paint shots for people like Workman to clean up in the paint. So it sounds simple, but that really is the system that's working for Bowdoin so far in this game.
And we talked about how Tufts hasn't been scoring as much as their earlier totals would suggest. And what's that been a cause of? How have they been struggling offensively?
Right. To make another NBA analogy, it's a lot of the Celtics criticism this year has been slow starts in the first quarter. And I felt like it's been similar with the Jumbos with slow starts in the first half. We talked about it on the broadcast. They've been a little flat-footed on defense. The speed hasn't been there. The transition buckets have been coming, but also have not, which sounds weird, but the transition plays, if they're going to do the three every time, they have to get it to one of the three-point shooters like Savage. And that hasn't really been happening. The Jumbos have been missing some of those transition threes, which is going to lead, obviously, to less points. So I think it's a combination of those factors.
Now leaders for both teams as we're about to start play here. Second half going on. Of course, on the court we have Tyler Aronson. We have Carson Cohen, Brennan Morris, who I apologize, I was calling him Brendan Morris, Luke Rogers, and Eric Savage, who leads all scorers with 13 points. They're going to call that an offensive foul on the freshman Workman, who's really impressed us so far. He's got 10, but now 3 fouls.
Yeah, Workman,
also on the
sorry, just to finish up on some stats, Workman on his way to a double-double, 10 points, 4 rebounds. And Sam Grad also tied for first place, 13 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound.
Yeah, and he's on the court, Sam Grad. We've got David Reynolds, too. That's going to be a foul called on the Jumbos' Brennan Morris. Also on the court, we have number 11, Sam Grad. Number 12, Taiga Kagatomi.
Yeah, Brendan Morris, who typically is a very sure-handed player, gets about an assist a game with the turnover there.
High shot, and that's off the top of the backboard. Ferraro.
That had to have hit Rogers, no? It looks like there's some debate going on. I swear that hit Rogers' hand, but he's kind of laughing and saying that he didn't, and that it was just a bad miss.
Yeah, Eric Savage joking around with Ferraro, he's had a rough day so far. 2 points, 2 fouls. He's got some good playmaking ability. Savage showing off his playmaking ability, almost a 3-4 Aronson.
And I'll tell you, Trevor, that was almost a replay of the play that won the Jumbos the game against the Bobcats.
Good memory there from Owen Finnegan, my color man. I didn't, sometimes I'll start a sentence and I'm like, this is not how it's supposed to end. But that possession's going to end in favor of the Jumbos. Eric Savage driving and pass out to Luke Rogers and knocked away by the Polar Bears. We're going to see who they give it to. That's going to be Jumbo ball. Almost a really nifty possession there. Nice pass from Savage. He likes to do that, falling out of bounds as he passes it up. I think a lot. And that's going to be a 2-point shot from Tyler Aronson from the corner.
Yeah, Bowdoin only 3 turnovers in the first half, so pretty low in the turnover department, but 1 there early in the second half.
Now the Jumbos with a decent lead of 3 points. Rebounded there. Nice grab from Luke Rogers. Deep in the left corner is Carson Cohen. High shot is going to go out of bounds. It looks like Eric Savage thought Luke Rogers would be in a different place than he actually was. Looked a little strange, quarterback and receiver not on the same page there.
I got to say, between that and the Ferraro play, 2 very bizarre plays to start off the second half. I don't know if it's a full moon or something.
I don't know. We'll have to check back on you. We will update you on the moon's status later in this game. But right now, Max Oppenheim is on the floor. In for Luke Rogers. It looks like they're rotating big man minutes. Good closeout there from Oppenheim. But rebounded was Jack Shea, number 22. He's now in the game, spinning around. Good passing, a lot of ball movement here, and that's going to be a 2-for-1 from Kagatomi. Believe those are his first points of the day.
You would be correct. He's actually putting up zeros in every statistical department. At least that's what our live stats are telling us. So first point of the day for Kagatomi off a beautiful play.
Looks to convert the three-point play, and he does. Kagatomi on the board with 3, and now all tied up at 39 are the Jumbos and Polar Bears. Into Oppenheim. He's going to try to work on number 22, Jack Shea. Now Reynolds driving on Aronson. Talked about his three-point shooting ability. Kagatomi moving it out, and that's going to go through the legs of Sam Grad, who's played a fantastic game up to this point. Not his fault. That was a bit of a low pass from Kagatomi, and turnover for the Polar Bears.
Right, so 3 turnovers in the first entire half for the Polar Bears, and now 2 in the first 2 minutes of the second half.
High rise from Savage there. Not going to be off the mark. Rebound by Reynolds. Kagatomi. Good left-handed shot. The southpaw gets it up to 5. Good movement here by the Jumbos. Trying to be a little more active than they were at the end of the first half. And Aronson going to rise up and convert the layup.
Yeah, Aronson,
nifty
good job.
Footwork.
Yeah, took the words right out of my mouth. Good job reading the defense there, seeing the footwork, seeing he could beat his man. And despite the slide from Grab, which was a good slide, Aronson's going to get the good footwork and the good hands to get the 2.
Going to slow it down are the Polar Bears. Still tied up. It's probably going to be down to the wire in this contest, and that is 2 points for Ferraro. He's probably happy he's not equaling his foul total at the moment. Rising shot from Cohen is off the mark and not rebounded by Oppenheim, but rebounded by Savage. Three-pointer from Morris is off the mark. Sam Grad with the rebound. Really felt like a possession the Jumbos were going to score. Wide open was the paint. No one realized it. Neither team, in fact. And possession will reset. Yep. That's going to be a foul on Cohen, I believe.
I think they should call it on Oppenheim for an over the back, but the way Cohen was reacting, it looked like they did call it. Yeah, they did call it on Cohen. Holding. So I guess the locking arms there is going to go against Cohen.
Yeah, it looks like Cohen had a bit more of an impact there than Oppenheim. No matter, Oppenheim will go to the bench. Luke Rogers rotating back with him, and Savage and Brennan Morris will go back out. Reynolds. Nice little spin move is good. And now Bowdoin has their biggest lead of the day at 4.
Reynolds 6'5", but can play under the basket with the best of them.
Thorner passes out to Cohen. Apologize also to Thorner for mispronouncing his name. We'll get to more of those corrections in a moment. Off the mark is Aronson. Kayumjin with the rebound. 3 from Cohen, not going to land, and that's going to be in the arms of David Reynolds. These threes are not landing for the Jumbos, and they're wide open.
No, they are not. After what was a good shooting first half, here's Reynolds from deep.
Almost. You had a feeling that one was going to go in after the Jumbos missed 2 wide open threes, but it did not.
I would have bet my savings if that one was going in. Reynolds is laughing about it.
Well, I would not trust you with financial matters, Mr. English major.
This is why I'm not a betting man.
Yeah. It's okay. Wonder if there is like an underground D3 basketball betting market, you know?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I had a friend who I worked with in the Cape League who would bet on under 16 women's Moldovan basketball league games on like
Listen.
on Bodava.com or whatever it is.
You got to find that edge wherever you can, you know?
This wasn't the over-under. It was the line itself was minus 80 for the favorites. Right now it's minus 4. You'd think that, you know, Jumbos would like to hit the over on this one. Have not been scoring much, but Luke Rogers trying to make up for his earlier free throw woes. Of course, airballing his free throw earlier and missing there. Rogers has a lot of good parts to his game, but one of them is the line shooting issues, only 50% on the season. And that one is going to be 0 for 2, and to top it all off, rebound by Reynolds. And the fast break almost converting. That was a bullet.
Holy moly.
Almost broke the hand of the senior Drew Gagnon.
I don't think anyone in the building was ready for that one except for Reynolds.
Yeah, almost killed some of the cheerleaders too.
Reynolds 8 points, 5 rebounds, another double-double contender.
Up the court is Thorner, still 41-45 in favor of the Bowdoin Polar Bears, looking for the upset. Now 43-45 as that shot from Thorner is good. Noted as 0-0 on the board. That is not correct. He is only a single 0. I'd love to see a 0-0 for the Jumbos at some point, though. Pass into Gagnon. And now Randawa is going to make the 3. The closeout was there, but so was the shot. And he is animated. Yes. 6 points.
Randawa coming alive.
That's going to be a 2-point free throw attempt here. They're going to call that foul on number 22, Jack Shea.
Right, so two Polar Bears coming alive in the second half, one being Kagatomi, the other being Randawa. Scoreless, both of them in the first half, and now both finding their first points in quite big moments for their team.
Yeah. Randawa, freshman guard from Ajax, Ontario. And down it goes. So the second international player.
And a graduate of another private school in Massachusetts, Worcester Academy.
Oh, was the other one the one that you were talking about earlier? That was a Massachusetts school.
Yep,
okay.
in Gill, Massachusetts, way out west.
Trying to go 2 for 2 from the line here. Not going to do it is Thorner. And rebound almost from the Jumbos. But picked up eventually after a deep pass there from Shea is Kayumjin. Now Will Brady in for the Jumbos. Thorner being met. 3-point attempt by Brady is very long, and he falls. But now another 3 from Savage is good. And if there's any way the Jumbos are going to keep pace with the Bowdoin Polar Bears, it's going to be off the back of that man right there.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a play the Jumbos needed. They fell below 33% three-point shooting, while the Polar Bears are hanging out around 43%. So Savage switching the motivation a little bit between these two teams.
That's going to be a full timeout taken, I believe, by, would that be by Bowdoin?
That is Bowdoin, you're right.
Yeah. Now we're going to see some cheerleading activities.
I have to say,
nice hold there.
Props to the Tufts cheerleaders for this season. They've been at every single game, which is like more than I've ever seen them at before. So good hand for them for their participation and dedication to the Jumbos athletics program.
Yeah. So 47-48 in favor of the Bowdoin Polar Bears. Of course, you know, not many of us saw that coming, but maybe we should have after 2 rough back-to-back games. 1 win, 1 loss for the Jumbos.
I know, and you think back to the beginning of the game where I think it was Aronson had those 3 mid-range jumpers that he swished in a row, and now you see them miss. See the Jumbos miss like 4 3-pointers in the first 7 minutes of the second half. I'd say if I were in that timeout and I'm the coach, I'm saying, hey, let's go back to what was working for us in the first half. Let's go back into the paint, mid-range jumpers.
Yeah. 3-ball has not been working for the Jumbos. Bowdoin now with the ball. In terms of their 5 conference games, they've only had 1 win. So 1-4. That's going to be a foul on the Jumbos, number 33, Eric Savage, gets his first. He's up to 16 in the ball game now. So they beat Connecticut College on January 11th, but that's their only win as that shot goes wide. And that's going to be an over the back from Sam Grad. Unnecessary from him on Dylan Thorner. So they beat Conn College. Day before, they lose to Trinity by 14. They've also lost to Williams by about 20, Middlebury by about 20, and Colby by about 14. Actually, that was a 14-point exact. I don't need to say about. And this would mark only their second win in conference against a team that is ranked technically number 1 in the NESCAC. We're going to see a foul there. I'm going to say a push. They're going to call that, I believe, on Drew Gagnon. He's going to go to the bench.
Been a slow-moving first 7 minutes here.
Rogers now out to Thorner. 3 ball by Savage is good.
Right when I finished talking about how the Jumbos are having trouble with the 3-ball, Savage gets 2 threes in a row, putting him at 3 for 3 on the day.
Yeah, they need to find a way to get it to him more. That's going to open up the paint for Luke Rogers. That ball is going to be away. Hustling is Kiyumjin. They're going to call that,
That's
I believe, backcourt, yeah.
Yeah, not touched by any Jumbos. That's a backcourt violation on the Polar Bears and giving the Jumbos another possession to further their lead.
Looks like Oppenheim's going to come in here for Rogers. Thorner getting some run here. Pops off a 3, misses it. And that's going to be out of bounds, rebounded by the referee.
But that was off Bowdoin. That was off Sam Grad. That should be touch ball. And it is.
There we go. Good eyes. Oppenheim going to fake the screen, giving Savage some room. He doesn't want to pop it yet. Now he does. 3 ball is good! Eric Savage! 4 for 4!
The heat check 3 drains it. Tufts by 5.
You thought when he moved to his right he wasn't going to take it, and then he's like, no, I haven't missed. I'm not going to miss. Phenomenal, and you didn't think it would. These have all been great shots from Savage. And now the Jumbos are up to a 5-point advantage after being down for about 4 for most of this second half. They want to keep that momentum going and keep Savage in the game. Now Savage is going to move out of the way. Oppenheim, good defense. And that's going to rim out. Ball taking a bit of a lucky bounce for the Jumbos. And Savage will move it up the court. Oppenheim staying strong. And Savage is going to be met and blocked by Grad, but 3 ball from Dylan Thorner is good. And now the Jumbos are trying to pile it on.
What is there to say? The 3 has come alive.
Jumbos are now up to 5 of 13, I believe, on the 3 ball. 3 by Rundawa is good. He answers back. Bowdoin is up. Not up in score, but they're up on the bench. And now a 5-point game it remains.
Rundawa 2 for 2, 6 points in this half. 2 3-pointers. I mean, it's a 3-point party in here.
I know. He gets so animated every time he hits a 3, too. You almost root for him. Of course, if you're a Bowdoin fan, you are rooting for him to hit the 3, but a lot of passion from the freshman. A lot of freshmen in this lineup, too. I mean, would you speak to that and how they've really contributed today?
Right, it's a young lineup. I'll let this play out here.
We will get to that topic in a moment. Eric Savage out by the 3-point line, something we've been seeing a lot of today. And Savage passing off the 3. That's going to be Thorner off the mark. Would have liked Savage to take it there, but he doesn't.
Yeah,
and they're going to call a foul
Looks like an over the back on
Oppenheim, yeah. Kuyumchin trying to comfort Oppenheim there.
But yeah, we were just talking young lineup for the Polar Bears. Grad being a junior and Reynolds being a senior, of course, the leaders of this team. But tons of freshmen, Workman and Shea have done a lot of work in the paint. Lots of sophomores as well.
Yeah, haven't seen a lot of Workman, have we? I wonder where he went.
Just about to say that we can see him on the bench. He's still in his uniform, no warm-ups on, but interesting to see. Maybe they're saving him for the second part.
Randawa, another three. That one misses, and out of bounds, jumbo ball.
Randawa not happy. Maybe thought it should have been Bowdoin's ball. That was pretty clearly Tufts' ball from my angle.
Got that sky view up here on the broadcast table. Aronson, pass out to Brady. Aronson off the dribble, pass into Kuyumjin, almost losing the ball. Savage, a lot of drives, and Savage is going to be met, and they're going to call a foul, a shooting foul on Jack Shea, and Bowdoin is not happy. The assistant coach is up in arms.
I got to side with the Polar Bears here. That looked like a good block from Shea, but what power from Savage. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. He wanted to take that ball to the rim, and that's exactly what he did.
Now Eric Savage from the line today, 2 for 2. Now 3 for 3. Luke Rogers entering the game with a push-up.
I got to say, Savage is probably approaching his season high in points. That should be his 23rd.
And down it goes. Strange, they only have Savage at 13 right now on the website, but clearly he's at 24 points.
If our website operators are listening, we need these live stats.
You got to help a couple of poor commentators out.
We can't do this all in our heads.
Yeah, he's not a math major. You guys heard. That's going to be a foul on Will Brady. Not happy with himself there.
That'll put Bowdoin in the bonus.
Quick bonus here from both teams.
Yeah,
it's been a foul palooza, 7-7.
But that's big, though. If Bowdoin can get in the bonus, they're only down 7. They're a good free throw shooting team.
Well, not there.
Not there, yeah.
Misses the bonus free throw and rebounded by the Jumbos. Will Brady from deep. Almost. And juggled around, but finally corralled by Ferraro, making his first entrance in a while. Randawa from deep. Off the mark there. Both teams are having a tough time corralling rebounds on the first bounce, it seems. Brady again from deep, and he fires! Brady sees no lines! He has limitless range.
The 5th 3 for the Jumbos this half.
Now driving is Ferraro. Randawa going to meet Rogers at the rim, and that's going to be a foul on Rogers. He is surprised. What do you think about that, Owen?
I don't know. I don't know about that one. I mean, it was a tough contest, but I don't know if I saw a foul.
Randawa to the line. 75% from the line this season.
Doesn't get to the line too often. Usually sticks around the perimeter.
Yeah, that was a rare drive from him, but he makes his first.
Just about 40% of the year from 3. Randawa is.
Misses that one, so it's going to remain a 9-point game in favor of the Jumbos. The 3 ball has really ignited them. Almost going into the backcourt was that ball. Aronson. Long pass, a little dangerous, and yes, it was. Sam Grad intercepting it with the steal.
I will say, Trevor, real quick, is what's most impressive about this Jumbos run is they're doing it really without any points from Luke Rogers.
Yeah, not been much of a factor all day. Had a tough time finishing. They dedicate a lot of people to him. And rebound there from Ferraro and up and in. As I was saying, the Jumbos are not getting these rebounds on the first bounce. It's like 1, 2, and then a catch.
Right, well, it's interesting you say that, too, because coming into this game, you figure what one of the biggest lopsides in the game was rebounding for an advantage of Tufts, because the leading rebounder for Bowdoin is Sam Grad at about 7 per game. and the leading rebounder for Tufts is Luke Rogers at about 13 per game. So just numbers-wise, stats-wise, the Jumbos are a much stronger rebounding team. But like you said, they haven't been getting those rebounds, offensive or defense, on the first try pretty much all game. Slippery hands.
Jumbos are leading 21-17 in terms of rebounds, but, you know, you figure that's going to hurt you sooner or later. And right now only a 7-point game, but if Reynolds starts getting involved, he hasn't been a lot recently.
Right. I mean, Bowdoin pretty much has to go back to, you can see him on the court right now, they pretty much have to go back to Reynolds and Grad here. I mean, 7 points with 8 minutes left. You got to start making some threes, get Grad involved. Grad was on fire at the end of the first half. He's done very little in the second half offensively, just points-wise. You can see this sort of pseudo full-court press here. A little bit of a different look for the Polar Bears.
Yeah, going to try to employ Rendawa in more of a press role, like you're saying. Rogers in the post.
There's a mismatch.
Off there. And there we go. Batting it to the other team is Rogers. And now Ferraro trying to get his team back in it, down by 7. Ferraro going to drive his head down on Brady. Grad to the rim, up and in. Easy layup for him. And now just a 5-point game.
We saw Grad with that exact same layup on Eric Savage in the first half, and that's really what sparked Grad's, I believe it was a 6 or 7 point run.
7:37 left to go and counting in this game. Tufts number 1 seed, Bowdoin number 9. Air ball there from Will Brady, but not stepping out of bounds and getting the rebound is Carson Cohen, fighting off Reynolds.
And that's
a bit of a strange body actions there from Carson Cohen, slapping at everything. Surprised he didn't get called for a foul, but ball goes to Bowdoin.
And I'll tell you, that's a big turnover for the Jumbos, because if Bowdoin scores here, then it's a one-possession game.
Kagatomi going on Oppenheim. Good defense from the center. Don't know if that was an amazing idea, but Aronson in a bit of trouble now. Carson Cohen out to Savage. Savage trying to slow things down a little bit. They have the lead, up by 5. Cohen to Aronson for 3, off the mark. Rebound by David Reynolds.
Let's see what Reynolds does here.
Reynolds with 10. Grad from deep. Not there. Bit of a quick possession for the Polar Bears.
And Grad had space there. The Jumbos are lucky he missed. Calling for a timeout, the Jumbos are. I think they saw something defensively they didn't like.
Yeah, right. Full timeout for the Jumbos. Timeout. So cheerleaders are going to head onto the court, but whereas it was a bit less tense early on in this half, even though the Jumbos are up by 5, it feels like any team can go on a run here.
Talking about tension for those at home interested, Tufts and Bowdoin women's teams are playing each other in Bowdoin as we speak. Current score is 81-78, Tufts by 3 with about 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So exciting game there, and an exciting game here in Cousins Gymnasium.
Yeah.
I recommend doing a little split screen, JumboCast on the left and whoever does Bowdoin on the right.
Is that NSN doing Tufts Bowdoin?
I'm not sure.
Let's see. Let's find out. Of course.
NSN we are friends with, and it is.
NSN?
Yeah.
It is NSN. They, of course, have the call for the... Is it 10 other teams in the conference? It's strange to have a conference with only 11 teams, but they, of course, get the... It is 10. So the other 10 teams in the conference, of course, getting NSN. We are still student-run over here, hopefully, for years to come. See about that. But, yeah, 81-78. So I'd recommend seeing that. Of course, Tufts and Bowdoin in women's basketball, long-time rivals.
And 2 top, I think, 5 programs in the country right now.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. Of course, new women's coach this year for the Jumbos, Carla Berube, going to Princeton. But Bob Sheldon is still going strong here in his 30-plus seasons at Tufts. And hopefully the Jumbos will go strong here. It's probably going through his mind right now. Walking up and down the court. Savage in a drive, hits a wall, takes a 2. and clean as ever. Every time Savage shoots, it's a beauty to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching Savage play basketball since he started here at Tufts, and there have been a few games where he's popped off like this.
Reynolds answers with a 3, one more than Savage. Finally, feels like we haven't seen him a lot, but now a 4-point game in favor of the Jumbos.
Reynolds contested threes. I mean, he's probably made 4 of them this whole game.
Oh, did you see that ogre step by Carson Cohen there? I don't know what he's been doing with his body in the past 5 minutes. Is that supposed to be a fake? I'm not sure.
What is going on?
Yeah. Well, Sam Grad is going to get called for a foul. That's what happened on that possession. And Max Oppenheim to the line to shoot 2. Oppenheim. Actually, that was a bonus shot there. Yeah.
Right, 1 and 1. Yeah.
Oppenheim.
Not the prettiest free throw stroke I've ever seen. Oh, what a block!
Yeah, Justin Kuyumjin with the block, but they're going to say that went out of bounds off of him. Love to see a guy elevate. Kuyumjin, of course, 6'0" from La Canada, California. Kagatomi is going to be fouled. That shot's off the mark. I was tempted to say La Canada, which does not seem correct.
I believe that translates to the Canada.
Really? I thought you were just an English major.
A man of many talents.
Man of many talents is Kagatomi as he hits his first. Oppenheim's going to check out.
And I mean, I don't want to speak too soon, so I'll speak after this shot.
And he makes
Lead
2.
is down to 2.
Yeah.
So this is a close game. The
And
lead, I think, was as big as 8 for Tufts.
Reynolds still on the court, and so is Savage. Into the post for Luke Rogers, and finally he converts. Seems like it's been a while since he's been able to get that post shot down.
Right. Well, I mean, that's the key to the Tufts offense is the entry pass to Rogers and then the short side, weak side layup. But we actually haven't seen a lot of it today.
Yeah, he's been turning around and missing with that high hook. Good to see him finally convert. Kagatomi hits 2. Beautiful left-handed jumper from him. Passes up on the 3. And now the Bowdoin Polar Bears have taken the lead up by 1. Thorner off, and that's going to be rebounded by Reynolds. Again, not able to corral the rebound is Luke Rogers.
And here's Rogers on Kagatomi, which is a match I don't understand.
Yeah, still on that assignment. Kuyumjin with the steal and out to Savage. Great awareness, of course, had that block earlier. 3 from Thorner, and it's good! The Jumbos extend their lead, 68-63. That doesn't seem right to me. How did it get to 68?
They bumped it up to 65 in the middle of that possession.
Oh,
this was a scorer's
all right.
error.
So we actually had a scorer's error. It's 68-63, so the Jumbos had a bit more of a cushion than they had thought.
Bit strange. Here's another thing that's strange. I think that's the 11th foul that Tufts has committed this half.
Yeah, they've been really hacking at it this half. 4:01 to play in the second half. And Ferraro hits his first up to lucky number 7 on the day. Ferraro, 8.7 points per game for him usually. So almost at that as he hits his 8th point. And now under 4 to play at Cousins Gymnasium. The Jumbos looking to hold on to their number 1 seed and presumably their spot in the NCAA top 5 rankings.
That was a great play by Reynolds. He knew exactly what was happening the whole time. Good steal by Reynolds.
68-65, a 1-possession game. Kagatomi into Grad, and that's going to be over the head of Reynolds. He's claiming that he was pushed away, but
that's not going to fly. Yeah,
not going to.
The refs won't call that. And I'll tell you, that is a blown opportunity by the Polar Bears. A great defensive play by Reynolds. They had Reynolds open in the post at the start of that possession. They didn't get it to him.
Savage trying to drive. Pulls up instead, and good! How does he keep making these shots? So clean
I mean,
is Savage.
You don't even make that shot in practice, and you just hit it in a game. Unbelievable.
And Bowdoin's going to take a timeout. You need to clear your heads after that one.
Rightfully so. I wish I could offer some insightful analytics, but I mean, it's the key to success here is that Savage just can't miss.
Yeah. Incredible. Actually, one of the cheerleaders did a backwards cartwheel. Didn't even think that was possible. But right now, Savage is doing the impossible. He's got 28 in the ball game.
Yeah, looking like a 30-burger in the pipeline for Savage.
70-65. Oh, and 3:21 left to play. How do you guard Savage without committing too many resources to him?
I mean, it's hard, and the thing is too, and Bowdoin has been doing all the right things with Savage. They've been having Grad, so it looks like they have Grad one-on-one against him now. But they've been having Grad make the slide to him when they need it. But when you're hitting those turnaround fadeaways, you can't defend that at any level of basketball. So, I mean, I guess if you're Bowdoin, you got to just keep doing what you're doing. The defensive game plan is there.
Yeah, shooters shoot. And now a shooter is going to shoot himself off the mark from Reynolds. And rebounded by Kayumjian.
Reynolds, maybe a little bit of a push-off there, but who am I to judge?
Aronson, long two. Is going to be battered around and corralled by Grad.
Time's running out for the Polar Bears here. They're really going to want to score here.
Kagatomi, jump, and he's going to run into a defender is Reynolds. Wide open shot for Kagatomi. This is big, off the mark, and rebounded by Savage. Strong hands from him. And now Thorner to Oppenheim. And they're going to reset. 2:20 left to play here.
Yeah, I mean, it's clock killing time for the Jumbos.
Eric Savage going to pull up from deep. Crossover and good! Eric Savage, what more can you do? Now with a 31-point day. And that's off the mark by Ferraro and rebounded by Savage. Aronson, that's going to be a blocking foul on Randawa. But Savage, crossover, pull up. Incredible.
And he just makes it look so easy. The level of difficulty of the shot that he's hitting is unbelievable. The man he's a man possessed right now. That's all there is to it. Yeah. Unbelievable. And if you're watching this game, you should be honored that you get to see a man in his element like Eric Savage is tonight.
Yeah. Hey, there are advantages to watching D3 basketball, folks, and one of them is the man you're seeing right now, Eric Savage, 31 points. We're going to actually check up on that. Whether that's a career high, it's got to be close to it at this point, you'd think. I think I've seen a decent amount of Jumbo basketball games. I think would you say this is his best game you've seen him play?
It's got to be up there. He's had a few playoff games where he's done a similar job of putting the team on his back. But, I mean, 31 points. I think he has close to 10 rebounds if he doesn't have 10 rebounds. But it's pretty, it really is, he's putting on a show tonight.
Yeah.
For anyone interested, looks like the Tufts women are going to secure a W as they're up 8 with 30 seconds left at Bowdoin. Of course, don't want to speak too soon, but that is the result for the women's teams of both of these respective schools.
Yeah. So that's a big win. That's always a huge one that we circle on the calendar for the Jumbos women's team. And if they can convert that, that would be huge. They only have to go past Amherst, I believe, and they'd have the number 1 seed locked up.
Speaking of games you circle on the calendar, tomorrow afternoon, the Jumbos are playing another big game against the number 5 in the country ranked Colby Mules. Of course, sharing the number 1 seed in the NESCAC with them right now. So tomorrow, if this result holds tonight, tomorrow afternoon, we'll decide who has the number 1 seed in the NESCAC.
And now to the line is Tyler Aronson. He's got 13 points on the day. Didn't see that coming. He's going to hit his first, up to 14 now. You know, he was making those mid-range jumpers early. But
again, I can't stress this enough how well the JumboCast offense has been clicking without Rogers on the floor.
The JumboCast offense?
We don't have an offense. The Jumbo's offense has been clicking without Rogers on the floor.
Yeah.
I was looking at a JumboCast logo.
Oh, that's going to be a hard foul by Oppenheim. on
Kagatomi.
Yeah. My apologies, and that's going to be a chance for a three-point play.
And that's actually the second and one that he's gotten so far, just in this half. So good job by Kagatomi taking it to the rack.
I don't know how he made that. Oppenheim came with his hand all the way over the back of Kagatomi. And he was quiet early, but now he's up to 11 points with a chance to make it his jersey number 12, and he does. Now Will Brady's going to check in for Oppenheim, who had 4 fouls up to this point, 0 points, so that might end his day. But no Luke Rogers, so interesting. The Jumbo's going with a small lineup here to finish out.
Here's the full court press from Bowdoin, too. Not sure what that call was. But it's going to the Jumbos. Not sure what that call is.
Yeah.
That's what I'm settling on.
It could be one of those referees not ready to referee game calls. Heard that in the Eagles game once. But, hey, got to have our officials set for exciting last 2 minutes of basketball. Jumbo's up by 7. That should have been a foul, you'd think. Looks like Ferraro calling for a travel.
Yeah,
Neither is called. Savage, 2-point shot, and it's good! Eric Savage, his uniform number 33 points tonight.
Wow.
Contested 3 from Reynolds is no good. One of the stars is making the shots tonight, and the other is not down the stretch.
Oh, man.
And wide open lane here. Brady not going to take the 3, and they're going to call a foul.
Don't call that.
On, I believe that's on Sam Grad.
Oh, you can't call that. You got to let Savage take that 3. Whatever. 56 seconds, so it looks like there'll be about 1 possession each for both these teams left in the game.
First shot is made from Will Brady, the junior out of Ridgefield, Connecticut.
I got to say, if Tufts played the same way they played in the second half for the entirety of all their games, they would be a top 16 in the country right alongside Colby.
Yeah, can say that again. Good defense from Brady there. And now it looks like Tufts is going to secure. They're on their way. I don't want to say, we all saw that Texas Tech NCAA game.
Yep.
45 seconds on the clock, but with an 11-point lead, it looks like the Jumbos will advance to 15-4. Bowdoin dropping to 6-12 on the year as Kayumjin hits his first free throw. Next up on the calendar for the Jumbos is, of course, good plug earlier,
yep.
Owen, on the JumboCast network. We're not really a network, just on JumboCast. You'll see Tufts take on Colby in Cousins Gymnasium at 3 o'clock.
And it's
nifty layup there by Rantawa. And we're going to see a timeout here, I believe, by the Jumbos.
Again, focusing on tomorrow afternoon, too, it's worth noting that that'll be the last home game for Tufts men's all season. So early February, and their home season is already done for.
Yeah.
So the stretch of away games that they have after Colby is Trinity, Conn College, Middlebury, which is a big game, and Williams to end the season.
Yeah, Bowdoin taking their last time out, so looks like this one is all but in the books, 81-70. And cheerleaders doing some fantastic stuff, but I feel like I should have gotten to this earlier. I'm not saying in any stretch of the imagination this is like this, but, Eric Savage finding shots anywhere on the court at will. The game kind of lost one who's able to replicate that. Kobe Bryant died at the age of 41 last Sunday. Definitely a shock to me. Owen, how did Kobe impact your life?
Yeah, I was a Celtics fan, so he's been a big part of my. I am a Celtics fan, so he's been a big part of my life for a long time, and it's a tragic loss to see for the sport and for humankind as well. He was an inspiration to many of us sports fans.
Yeah, the reaction to his passing is somewhat, it's unlike any I've really ever seen in sports before. Sort of reminds me of the John Lennon incident from the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, everyone really just this guy having profound impact, and, you know, a lot of people talking about his, not only his on-field abilities, but as an off-field father, and so many people being touched by him. You know, of course, there is that complicated legacy with him, but, you know, someone who's really had an amazing impact on these United States of America, as Will Brady hits his first.
Yeah, just our thoughts go out to the Bryant family and the other victims of the crash.
And, of course, young Gianna, too. And we hate to end this on a somber note, but
it's important
it needed to be said. As that's 2 points for Ferraro.
So a bit of a strange ending in this game. Here's Savage.
And Eric Savage with his 35th points of the day! And that's a dunk for him! Oh my goodness, Eric Savage.
And he did the get up young fella too. Oh man.
That's a block there from Will Brady. And out off of the hands of Kiyumjin is the shot from Rendawa. But yeah, definitely just Eric Savage.
Wow.
Doing whatever he wants,
I mean,
you know. That's going to be Kagatomi.
And a blocking foul.
Yeah, could have been really dangerous there. Not sure how the pelvis of Brady was not shattered on impact, but good to see everyone's okay.
Yeah, good sportsmanship from Kagatomi helping Brady back up.
Yeah. Kagatomi misses the first there. 16 seconds left in this one. Final 45 seconds is really slowed to a crawl.
It certainly has.
As we've seen. Bowdoin, you know, they're still trying, and, you know, it looks like they're going to be content to let this one run out. The Tufts Jumbos advance to 15-4, undefeated 5-0 in the conference, and they are set for the fight of their lives here in Cousins Gymnasium tomorrow against the Colby Mules. Owen, what really allowed them to take control of this game? Because it was close right up until around 4 or 5 minutes here in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. It was close at half. Bowdoin was playing fantastic defense. I was talking about their slides and their footwork. It was fantastic on the defensive end. What changed in the second half? Simple as this. 3-point shot. We saw Will Brady make 2. We saw Savage make what felt like a million. And when the offense is firing like that, you don't need Luke Rogers. You don't need Max Oppenheim. You don't need anyone in the paint. You just need Eric Savage making 35 points, put this game away on his own.
Yeah, this definitely was the Eric Savage game, and one that will probably be remembered for many here in attendance at Cousins Gymnasium. Just one man imposing his will on the competition.
Absolutely. So, plug for tomorrow, beginning at 3 p.m. against Colby Mules. JumboCast will be covering that game, so check our social media or visit www.tuftsjumbocast.com for the stream.
And for my partner, Owen Finnegan, for director Jarrett Davis, for everyone on the crew, this is Trevor Russo signing off. Thank you for listening to JumboCast.